I think if you look at Angus Glens as for farming, yeah, possibly it is unproductive, but you have to look at all the layers involved. And on this estate, we very much look at the renewable value of it, carbon capture, sporting, farming. Combined, actually, I would say it is quite productive. When I took over, we had a tenant farmer and nothing much else happened on the estate. What I've done in the meantime, I've taken all the farming back in hand. Also, we put in a hydroelectric scheme, and the hydroelectric scheme is about 450 kilowatts, so that produces quite a good income each year. Put a lot more investment into the grouse shooting and the stalking, and also the low ground shoot. And also we've then started doing up some of the buildings on the property. We've got cottages that we've done up for holiday lets. We've got the building we're in today, which was an old farmsteading which was ruined, and we've done it up over time. I've got a events space just next door. So with all those things combined, in addition we've put in biomass, for example, to heat the cottages. So all of those things have brought in a bit of revenue, and combined, that's the secret, I think, with Upland Estates, is really just bring in a multiple source of revenue streams, and combined that turns into a reasonably, not a large number, but a reasonably significant number, so that's good. My particular area, I'm only speaking for this estate, but I think it's relevant to a lot of the Angus Glens. I think subsidy payments should very much move away from farming as per se, and much more for environmental benefits. Things like carbon capture, things like flood mitigation, things like tree planting, wildlife management, biodiversity, and we should really align any payment we get with what are the current government's targets. One thing I've learned is it's all about multiple income streams. You need to look at everything and do everything well. In the old days, you would do one thing. On an estate like this, you would farm sheep, you maybe would shoot a few grouse. I think there is no longer room for you just to have one thing you do. So we farm a bit, we have a bit of forestry, we have renewables, we have sporting tourism, we have environmental tourism, we have events as well. I think combined, all those things make it work. So I would say to anyone, you need to have multiple income streams. I mean, looking back, I think I would have probably tried to spend more time out there looking at what other people are doing, because what I found I've done here is I've looked at in whole areas, different parts of the country. I've got ideas of what other people are doing, and I've then thought that could work here, and I've tried it. Some of them haven't worked, most of them have. I think I would have spent more time looking around other estates, see what they're doing, look at the latest thing, read up more, do more research. And I think when you're busy doing your day job, you don't have time to research, and I think I would probably spend more time trying to research. For me, I think the biggest challenge has been the cost of everything. Anything on an estate costs money. It's all about capital expenditure. That's why, you know, if you've got big pockets, you can do everything quickly. I don't have big pockets. I've had to do things slowly. And that's been a challenge. But what I've found is if you can do joint projects with people, especially on the environmental side, forestry side, there are lots of people out there who want to help. For example, I've done work with the local fishery board because they wanted to improve one of our burns and plant some trees along one of the burns and re-meander a burn for salmon. I've done work with Angus Council who put money into schemes. Obviously there's been SRDP grants for forestry. In addition, I've advanced sold carbon through a company called Forest Carbon. Working with all these people, you actually get more funding in, and it helps just tip the balance so you can do the project. My last project was the event space that we're sitting in now, and that's something which is a work in progress. I finished the building and we're just trying to build up the business. We've got our first few weddings in. I'm hoping that will take off. Really, my focus now is I think that the real value in Upland Estates is going to be around carbon capture and flood mitigation. And I think we can get into a virtuous circle where we're helping government hit their targets, where we are seen to be doing public good, where we are doing public good, and the environment benefits. And so rather than farming where you may be benefiting a few people locally, what we could be doing with carbon capture is benefiting a lot of people in the country and indeed the whole world.